Imagine spending 30 years fighting a war, only to discover that the war had ended decades ago. That sounds impossible, but it actually happened. In 1944, a young Japanese intelligence officer named Hiroo Onoda was sent to Lubang Island in the Philippines. His orders were simple: continue the mission, never surrender, and keep fighting until the Japanese army returned. At the time, Onoda had no idea how long that mission would last. He probably couldn't have imagined what was coming. Then, in August 1945, Japan surrendered. The Second World War was over. But Onoda didn't believe it. Leaflets were dropped into the jungle telling Japanese soldiers that the war had ended, but to Onoda they looked like enemy propaganda. So he stayed. Think about that for a moment. The rest of the world was moving on. People were going home. Cities were being rebuilt. New technology was changing everyday life. But deep inside the jungle, Onoda was still fighting the same war. He and a few fellow soldiers survived however they could. They stole food. They avoided patrols. They moved through the jungle carefully, always expecting the Japanese army to return. And then another year passed. Then another. Years slowly turned into decades. His fellow soldiers disappeared one by one. But Onoda remained. Imagine waking up every morning believing that the war could still be going on. Imagine living for years with the same fear, the same mission, and the same expectation that someone would eventually come for you. Meanwhile, the world outside had completely changed. But Onoda was still there, still hiding, still waiting. Then came 1974. Nearly 30 years after Japan had surrendered, a Japanese traveler named Norio Suzuki finally found him. You would think that would be the end of the story. It wasn't. Onoda still refused to come out. He said he had been given orders to continue fighting, and he would only surrender if the officer who had given him those orders personally released him. So they searched for that officer, and amazingly, they found him. He was brought to the Philippines. Finally, Onoda received the order he had been waiting for all those years. And then, he walked out of the jungle. He was wearing his old military uniform, he carried his sword, and after almost 30 years, he finally surrendered. 30 years. That's an entire lifetime for some people. During those decades, the world had changed around him. But Onoda had remained trapped in a war that no longer existed. And honestly, that's what makes his story so difficult to comprehend. He wasn't simply hiding in a jungle. He was living inside a reality that had ended for everyone else, but not for him. The war ended in 1945. For Hiroo Onoda, it ended in 1974.